Thank you for watching this Hexagon Geospatial e-training module, ERDAS APOLLO Clip Zip Ship Management. Administrators need to be able to set up their ERDAS APOLLO solutions to best serve their organization and those customers requesting and downloading data from the system. This video covers essential tasks to manage the storage, cleanup, delivery, and notification of users requesting data in the Clip Zip Ship process. Many administrative tasks can be done using the ERDAS APOLLO Data Manager. To manage the server configuration, log on to Data Manager as ERDAS APOLLO Administrator or as a user with administration rights. Once logged in the Explorer panel, click the Apollo dropdown, then the Configuration dropdown, and select the Clip Zip Ship folder. The settings for Clip Zip Ship open in the Properties tab. First, we'll modify the cleanup interval time. In the Values field, next to Cleanup Interval, click the dropdown and select Daily. This will set the system to clean up the server every day. The cleanup start time is used for setting the time at which the cleanup will be performed. It's best to set a time when less users will be accessing or performing tasks such as searching for data, cataloging, or other tasks. The time used for the system is based on a 24-hour clock. For instance, if the time input was 2300 hours, it would translate to an 11 p.m. kickoff time for the cleanup service. For the cleanup start time, set the time to 2300 hours. The delivery host is the name of the server that will be handling the delivery of data, and in most cases, it will be the ERDAS APOLLO server itself. The administrator can also set the delivery protocol as either an HTTP direct download or as an FTP download. In this instance, the demo server will use the HTTP option. The amount of data allowed to be downloaded can also be limited by the system administrator in the Download Maximum Request Size (MB) section of the Clip Zip Ship configuration. The default amount is 100 megabytes, with a maximum of 2 gigabytes for Clip Zip Ship processes. For direct download of original data not going through Clip Zip Ship, there is no size limit. Click the Download Maximum Request Size and type 1000. While the cleanup interval and cleanup start time has been set, the administrator needs to decide the number of days that the data is to remain on the server for the customer to pick up. The expiration duration sets the number of days to retain the Clip Zip Ship files before they are deleted by the automatic cleanup. The default number of days is 30. However, for this example, we'll only give our customers 3 days from the time of the data request to retrieve their data. Click the value and change the days to 3. In the Clip Zip Ship process, email notifications are used to send information to the data requester. This includes information such as the job number, contact information, and a link to the data once ready to download. The system administrator can make SMTP authorization between the ERDAS APOLLO server and an SMTP server necessary or not by using the True-False option in the Mail SMTP Authorization Enabled section. We'll be leaving this as false. Since an email address has to come from someone, the Mail SMTP email address is where the email address for the organization goes. The Mail SMTP host section contains the name of the SMTP server that was input in the configuration section of the ERDAS APOLLO installation process. However, if no server was chosen at the time, or you need to change the server used by the system for email notification, this is the section to input that information. For this example, the SMTP host is going to be smtp.gmail.com. In the Mail SMTP port, the port is going to be set to use 465. Other SMTP settings, such as Secure Sockets Layer or Transport Layer Security, can also be set. In the Mail SMTP SSL Enabled value dropdown, select True. In the Mail SMTP Start TLS Enabled value dropdown, select True. A server username and password must be identified as input into the SMTP configuration so that the emails can be authorized and sent to data requesters. In this example, we'll use the username Apollo User. A password also has been identified for the SMTP configuration so email can be authorized and sent to data requesters. During the ERDAS APOLLO installation and configuration, an output directory location for zip files is defined. However, if that location needs to be changed or updated, this is where the network path is configured or modified. Next, let's review how general users and customers are notified when they make a download request from the ERDAS APOLLO system. When a customer makes a request from an ERDAS APOLLO system for a data download, notifications are automatically sent back in response. When a user uses the ERDAS APOLLO geospatial portal to select data for a clip zip ship process or for a direct download, that user must give a valid email address for the system to send notifications to about the progress of their data request. By default, the system sends out a pre-generated email based off of a template. The first email the user receives is a notification that the ERDAS APOLLO system has received and acknowledged the data request and has assigned that request an internal job number that can be used as a reference. The second email that's generated is a completion email, letting the requester know that the data requested is ready and provides an HTTP or FTP URL for the user to click and then download. These email notifications are very generic. The ERDAS APOLLO administrator may want to impart more information, such as contact information, how long the data will remain on the server before being deleted, or even more information to the data requester. To do this, modifications to the email template used by ERDAS APOLLO is required. Using a text editor, open the file containing the default email notification text. This file is located in the ERDAS APOLLO home directory. Hexagon, ERDAS APOLLO, Web Apps, ERDAS-APOLLO, Web-INF, classes, and is called provisioning.async.jbpm.xml. Notice that in this email you see two sections that deal with the email sent from the ERDAS APOLLO server. The first section, called Node Name Send Start Email, pertains to the email that is sent when a user submits a clip zip ship request. This email informs them that the request has been received and assigned a process or job ID. In the text editor, change the email subject Apollo download request, job ID started, email subject to email subject, thank you for your data request, job ID, email subject. Please note, do not remove the job ID from the text. The second section, defined by the node name send end email, is the email that is sent when the ERDAS APOLLO server has completed the clip zip ship process and is ready for the end user to download the data requested. In the text editor, make changes to the node name send end email, email subject section. In each section, the email text tag contains the actual text of the email message that the requester receives. You can replace the text with anything fitting, but you should not remove the job ID token in either the send start email or send end email sections. It should also be noted that using the XML code preserve in the email text tag will allow white spaces to be preserved. With this modification, multiple paragraphs can be added to email text. It's also very important that the URL prefix and user name tag, which provides the URL to the end user to download the requested data, remain unchanged in the email text. Once you are satisfied with the changes, save and close the provisioning async.jbpm.xml file. Now that the changes have been made, when users make a request for data from the ERDAS APOLLO system, they receive the email from your organization based off of the changes made. Thank you for watching this e-training module from Hexagon Geospatial. For more e-training, please visit hexagongeospatial.com/etraining.